coached last year 12.
Got curly hair, looks like you just got rained.
What's going on, RD?
Well, I've also got
Let me have your attention, please, before we get started. We do have prepared statements by Coach Bryant, fact sheets on Coach Bryant, and fact sheets on another gentleman that you'll hear about later. We'll pass those out afterwards. We may not have enough, but we will certainly reproduce more down the Sports Information Office. Might say that our players are in exams at this time. For those of you who wish to talk to some of them, we'll try to accommodate you at noon.
I don't know how many of you most of you too young to know, but the senior officer always sits on the right. I guess I should stand up. Mayor Harmon copied this up for me and said that with my mumbling, some of your grumbling, you'd never get it right. Anyway, I have something to say here that you will get in writing. There comes a time in every profession when you need to hang it up, and that time has come for me as head football coach at the University of Alabama. My main purpose as director of athletics and head football coach here at the University of Alabama has been to field the best possible teams, to improve each player as a person, and to produce citizens who will be a credit to our present-day society. We have been successful in most of these areas, but now I feel the time is right for change in football leadership. We lost 2 big football games this season that we should have won, and we played only 4 or 5 like a Bryant coach team should play, whatever that is. I want to emphasize this, and I've been emphasizing it in 2 years. I've done a poor job coaching. This is my school, my alma mater, and I love it. I love the players, but in my opinion, they deserve better coaching than they've been getting. I want to say that again. I love the players, but in my opinion, they deserve better coaching than they've been getting from me. And that's why I'm stepping down in an effort to see that they get better coaching from someone else. This I really mean. It's been a great joy for me personally to have had the opportunity to coach at my alma mater. I know I will miss coaching, but the thing I'll miss the most is the association I've had with the players, the coaches, the competition, all those things that have made such a strong tradition at Alabama. I can't say enough or thank enough the coaches who are with me now and those who have been here in the past. I plan to continue as director of athletics and pledge my support to my successor in every respect, particularly recruiting. I'm also thankful to have had the support of every president I've worked with at the University of Alabama, including our current president, Dr. Joab L. Thomas, whom I would like to present to you at this time. Dr. Thomas.
I know the first thing that
most people are wondering is what my reaction has been to this. I've discussed this possibility with Coach Bryant off and on over the last year and a half. On every occasion, I've done my best to talk him out of the idea even of stepping down. It would still be my preference for Coach Bryant to continue coaching for at least the next 10 years. And I asked him to do that. I've asked him to do that on numerous occasions. But he did finally make a very firm decision that he did wish to relinquish the head coaching duties. And he was so firmly resolved in this that I knew there was no way that I could talk him out of it. Paul Bryant is certainly a legend in his own time, as many have said. He is an institution himself. He is, without any doubt, the best head football coach that the University of Alabama has ever had. And this automatically makes him the best head football coach in the history of college football. There have been more head coaches to spin out of his program around the country than in any other program in the history of college football. He has been replicated many times, but as we all know, there has never been an exact replica, and there never will be. If the biologists in their cleverness in working with DNA could find some way of replicating Coach Paul Bryant, it would certainly be something worth patenting. I would say, in fact, that never in the history of college football has one head coach done so much for so many. Now that Coach Bryant has firmly made the decision to step down, we have a very difficult task before us. And when that became apparent, I decided that we should put together a small committee, but a committee representative of the various constituencies of the university, and a committee capable of making this extremely difficult decision. Modestly, I decided to chair that committee myself. I asked two trustees to serve with me. The first was Mr. Ernest Williams, and I think he's with us this morning. Mr. Ernest Williams is the trustee who has the longest tenure as a member of the Board of Trustees and was a member of the search committee that hired Coach Paul Bryant. I also asked Mr. Red Blunt to serve on this committee as a trustee and as an alumnus. In addition, I asked Mr. Charlie Scott, who is the faculty chairman of the athletic committee, representing both the faculty and the administration in the university and the administration of athletics. And I asked a former student of mine, Dr. Galen McCulloch, Dr. Galen McCulloch, who is not only a former student, but a former athlete, played on a national championship team at the University of Alabama, and he represents all the rest of the constituencies, athletics, the alumni, and a very prominent citizen. He is representative of the very prominent citizenry of Alabama. With this small 5-person committee, we sought information and advice confidentially from a number of sources. First, I went to Coach Bryant and asked for his advice for nominations. I had gone to Coach Bryant twice before when I was hiring a head coach at North Carolina State University, and naturally this would be the first place I would go for advice. We also sought advice from other head coaches around. We received very consistent advice from a number of sources. Certain names always rose to the surface very quickly. We interviewed some from the internal staff. We interviewed several people from outside. But the person who emerged unequivocally as the obvious successor to Coach Bryant was Coach Ray Perkins of the New York Giants. Ray Perkins of Petal, Mississippi. Ray Perkins, a wide receiver on another national championship team. Ray Perkins, who had played with Galen McCulloch at the University of Alabama. A person who has been a winner every place he's been. And another coach who wanted to answer when Mother called. And Mother has called again for Ray Perkins to come back as head coach at the University of Alabama. And he has very graciously and very eagerly, I might say, responded in the affirmative. So it's my great privilege to announce to you that we now have the greatest athletic director in the country, and Paul Bryant, and we have what we know will be the next great head football coach for the University of Alabama, Mr. Ray Perkins. Thank you.
We'll entertain questions at this time.
When did you start this search committee for a new coach? When did the decision be made to have Coach Bryant sit down?
Well, the decision actually evolved over a period of time, but the committee was put together the middle of last week.
Coach Bryant,
When did you publicly reach your decision, when did you reach your decision to retire?
Oh, I don't know. I guess every time I got far enough away from home not to listen to Mary Harmon and my children, to be honest about it. I think really it came after the Mississippi Southern game, and I considered it very strongly. As a matter of fact, I think I asked Dr. Thomas at one time if they could hire a coach, an assistant head coach for 1 year, and then give him a contract for where we would go 5 years. And the more I thought about that, Dr. Thomas agreed to do that. I tried to do it. The more I thought about it, is our personnel this year, we're going to have better personnel, skilled positions than any place else. And I think we'll have to, I think we should go to a passing game, although we passed pretty well this year, percentage-wise. We go to a real passing game and they go back to drop back passing, and I said I'd never use it again, but now they could hold. I don't know how to teach that holding. And I thought the best thing to go ahead and do it now and get the man that wanted, a man with that type of background, and that would help our recruiting, for the recruits to know that they weren't coming in here and playing the type of offense that we've been playing the last few years. Although I wouldn't change again. It's the most successful decade of offense in history of football, so it must not be too bad.
Coach, would you comment on Ray Perkins, what your thoughts of him?
Well, Ray, of course, is a fine Christian gentleman to start with. Ray was from Petal, Mississippi. He was a little more mature than most of the players you get. And we recruited him. Larry Hennessy recruited him as a tailback. And he came in here, and the first spring he was here, we scrimmaged over at the stadium. And he caught a pass, and Billy Piper, and they just went together. And he had a very serious injury. I believe Dr. Galbraith was the doctor. A very serious injury. And kept him out of football for a year, out of the uniform. And he put on a uniform for a year. But in the meantime, it became obvious he didn't want to be, I didn't want to run with a football and getting hit all the time. And he's a very poor receiver. He had old stiff hands like mine. And then the next year, he could work out. And, we suggested that he try to learn to catch the football and play wide out. And he not only learned to catch it, he never did have soft hands, but he worked on it so much. He became a great receiver. He made All-American. And, you might remember the Orange Bowl game in '65, the Sugar Bowl game in '66. If you saw those, you'll never forget Ray Perkins. Of course, he's a great leader. He's a great team man. He's unselfish. And of course, I followed him through his assistant coaching career and in college and pro. And I think he's done a terrific job everywhere he's been.
Coach, how active a role will you take as athletic director as far as the football team is concerned?
I will absolutely, positively not interfere. First thing I was going to say to Ray Perkins, if he wants me to say something, he better ask me. Because I don't want to be so many times if coach goes to be athletic director and he forgets he's not coaching anymore, he interferes. I'm not going to be that fact. If you want me to do something, or want to ask me something, I'll be happy. But I'm not going to suggest this or that, because he's got to build a football team. No one does it the same way.
Coach Bryant, did you accomplish all the goals that you set out to in your coaching career?
No, I don't know how many goals I had. I didn't accomplish one, but I didn't coach till I was 9. I didn't accomplish any of them. The players do accomplish them.
Coach, as you look back over your career, can you think of one or two moments that stand out as perhaps your most satisfying?
Oh, I guess the most satisfying would be back at the University of Maryland. On the last play of the game, when we were playing University of Virginia, they were undefeated, and we were behind 13 to 12. Last play, I think the last play of the game, 4th and 28, and Red Poland threw Gleason a touchdown pass, and we won 19 to 13. That's about it. That was my first year too, and the younger you are, the more gratifying things are.
Do you expect any of Coach Perkins' staff to be coming? Will he be bringing any staff with him?
He has full control of selecting his staff. According to Dr. Thomas. And I know Ray will make his out in that way.
What are the terms of this contract?
He has a 5-year contract.
Money?
Thomas, who were the other coaches who came in Sunday?
I didn't hear
Were
you.
there any other coaches that came in you thought with Sunday?
Yes, there were several. I really cannot reveal the names of those coaches. We ensured them of confidentiality.